I think I have to answer the question. Okay. Well, there are two types of creatures, because most of you live in some religion or the other. One is the spiritual creatures, which we cannot see. The other is the physical, we and animals and everyone. And human being is the only creature in the universe who is a combination of these two. And this is the reason that a human being, being the weakest infant of all, grows up to conquer the world. Human beings have conquered the world. So many people see why Mr. Gurinder Singh is so successful. Nobody sees the hard work he has put in making the NRI society a success today. So coming back to the main point, I'm sorry I'm taking your time, and sorry to Mr. Krishnamurthy. Well, Mr. Day, he highlighted the problems being faced by NRIs, the workers, the lower class people in Saudi Arabia and Middle East. Mr. Day, it is that the embassy cannot do much about it. It's because of the laws there. They are so stringent. It's the government of India which has to do something about it, and especially ban the export of the lowest category of labor like domestic help and house drivers. This can to some extent alleviate the problem. Well, discrimination is a part of every society. You cannot help it. It's there in human beings. It's there in Saudi Arabia. It's there everywhere, and we have to deal with it as NRIs. Wherever we are being discriminated somewhere or the other, and we take it with a pinch of salt. Well, Mr. Shamu, he gave us a lively example of a glass falling, and we just think that a glass has fallen and broken into pieces, and Europeans analyze it, why it broke into pieces and all those things. Well, I had some very close contacts with Europeans and Americans. I don't feel they are so bright or something like that. On the other hand, Indians are much, much better than them. And I am proud to be an Indian for that matter. Europeans generally adopt the replacement policy when it comes to, as an engineer, I talk about engineering, okay? When the machine is out of order, okay, replace this part, replace that panel board, replace that PCB, replace that. But whereas in Indians they have a magic formula which nobody in the world has. It is called jugaad. Make it out of it. So they do something and make it work. And this is what is appreciable, which no other country, not even Europeans, not even Americans, not even Chinese, nobody can do that jugaad, what Indians can do. And I remember, I myself, when I went to Saudi Arabia for the first time in '94, I was working as a plant manager in the plastic factory. There were many housing machines which were out of order. And I happened to repair most of them, and one of the machines was an Italian machine. And I contacted those people. Those days we had to contact the fax only, there was no email. And they quoted us $14,000 for some cards, PCBs. And after importing those cards, we had to alter half the machine to make it work according to the new cards. Believe me, I was able to fix that machine with less than $10. Just $10. I went inside and saw where the problem was, and I was able to do it. And this is something which others cannot do. We don't feel there is anything special about Europeans or Americans. Indians are far, far, far superior. But the problem lies somewhere else. It is the regulation. It is the regulation. It is the export of substandard items which the government has to ban, so that we don't get a bad name, because some people have been able to export very low standard items out of the country. Number one. Number two, yesterday when I came here to check in for the hotel, I came in the same dress. Ladies and gentlemen, just suppose, I had come wearing very old and torn clothes. I would have been turned away by the security man in the first gate itself. So this is called packaging. areas where India is weak. I am not talking about quality. Indian quality is not inferior to any other quality in the world. As an engineer, I can tell this. But when it comes to packaging, we are lagging behind. We don't present our things in the way it has to be presented. And this is one area where we have to give more importance, where we have to develop. And if we can do that, we have already conquered half the world, as many of us already told, we will be able to conquer all the world. So I think keeping the time constant in mind, I'll end here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Professor Dr. Joshi. Since majority of them they come back one day to India. When they come back, they have their own problems too. For example, these middle class or people are not properly guided from their investment point of view. There is a lack of promotion. How they should invest their savings. A simple example I will give you. People in Kerala who are in majority in Middle East, they invested or they spent their money in constructing big houses. When they return after 10-15 years, they are having cash crunch problem. There is no cash in them. How to maintain houses? So this is one problem for them. So where to invest? For example, do you want investors or contributors? Now when you talk about that, investors is a long-term concept. What is the return on investment? An investor would like to see what is the return, which the money which I am pumping and pouring, what are my returns? So what are those areas? Number two, contributors, where social sector, education sector, rural sectors. Now, are the returns there? There are not much returns. So contribution, so the attitude or the role of the NRI will be different as investors and as contributors. So we have to spell out that in a different way. And another point, sir, in Middle East, the role of Indian media is also a little bit to be questioned, because media gives a negative presentation about various NRI and about their programs. For example, I am subscribing to Pehla package and I am paying 25,000 rupees annually, but we don't get any program. These TV channels of media, they don't have any program for NRIs. Though we are subscribing, you can see their programs, you are watching their programs, and we take a lot of interest. What they did, the news they did, one Indian called Raj Henry in Dubai sent or cat or something or 4 days, something like that. These are only negative news they give. They don't give much positive news about the NRI. And lastly, sir, when the NRI communities they come back, they have problems. One is economic sustainability. They don't have pension. They don't have social security. They don't have insurance, health care. So can we suggest to the government that to work out some scheme, particularly pension scheme for them, that after 10, 15 or 20 years when they come back, so that we can have a livelihood, they have some source of income. Okay? Thank you very much. May I invite Mrs. Pulpa Banga? Yeah.
Honorable Chairman, distinguished panelists and fellow delegates, it's an honor and privilege to be here, and I'm not going to take your time, but let me see a couple of things. Ever since last first conference, I am hearing money, and materialistic attitude, whereas we women are the nurturer, and we have to see the value versus volume. If we amass billions of dollars, what good it will be doing to us or have to our children or to our society. If we lose our children, they are real asset. Our real assets are their values. We are not paying any attention towards them. Because the children over there, they are mostly following the trend of Westerners. And here also, I have seen, I try to speak Hindi and they reply in English. I just see that they are losing completely their heritage and legacy, which we want to preserve. What is important? Money or the values? And other aspects, a lot of gentlemen already spoke, so I'm not going to touch that. But I think let's preserve real values of life, our children. I'm not complaining. I'm a lucky woman that I work hard and I produce 2 health professionals. And when I came back here in India, I was educationist. And over there, I had to have transition from education to financial field, and I'm a financial analyst and advisor. And plus, I devote my lot of time to social associations. I was president of Youth Mission, Settle the Fund, and then Bharat Bhavan, and other places also. I am part of interfaith group where I tell them that we Indians, we don't care for ourselves. We always believe in sharing. When we have a broader vision, we have to share the values so that as a whole, the universe, what we say in Sanskrit, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the whole universe is my family. I'm not only concerned about myself or my family or my children, but the whole universe, wherever I go, wherever I deliver talk, I go to different associations. In October, I was invited by the Global Peace Federation for the world. There are 146 countries participated, and I was honored the Peace Award. So that's what India is all about. We Indians always can stay hungry, but we make sure our neighbor, our friend, our comrade is well fed, and we give them first, and we keep ourselves to the last. So that's the part I am emphasizing, that we did go to other countries, we just wanted, but now whatever we have wanted, we have to pay back to our community, we have to pay back to our country, rather the whole universe, because universe is our family. So we have to be a little bit caring for not investing only in money. Money does give you dividend, but the more dividend we derive from, if we just abide by those values, we conserve them and we preserve our heritage. Now, if we leave this world, I'm remembering the line of Kabir ji. जब हम पहला हुए जग हंसे हम रोए ऐसी कली कर चलो हम हंसे जग So whatever we have accumulated, let's share and give to the world and make the world more beautiful. Thank you.
I would like to invite Dr. Prasad Srinivasan from United States.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais, fellow recipients of the award, ladies and gentlemen. The words of the late President Kennedy were quoted yesterday and they were quoted once again earlier today. And I'm very glad, very happy to inform you that both on a personal basis and the organization that I represent, we are constantly thinking, constantly working working on how to give back to India. The American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, I happen to be the secretary of that organization for this current year. We are about 40,000 physicians of Indian origin in the United States. And this organization is about 26 years young. And over the years, we have constantly worked on trying to do things back in India. We are well aware of the richness that we have inherited, both by birth as well as the fabulous education that can never be replicated in any other part of the world. So it is our time to give, and it will always be never enough, no matter how much we give back to India. I'm very happy to inform you, sir, that our organization has about 17 clinics that we run in India, in rural India. We know most of India is rural India, so we have 17 charitable clinics that we've been running for the past 10 to 12 years, totally funded by the physicians of Indian origin from the United States. Thank you. We have taken a small village in Gujarat, near Baroda, and that's where I come from. I trained at MS University, Baroda. This village is called Karkari, outside Baroda, and that is our pilot village, where we have come not to give service directly, but to teach the teachers, and that is our goal. Our goal is to be able to provide education so that the local people will then go in turn to the villages and be of service to that village. This model in Karkari has been recognized by the Indian government. The model has been written up, and that is the model that we have taken to the present government, both of Manmohan Singh and Abhimanyu Ramdas, the health minister. On behalf of the American Association, we want to duplicate that model in as many villages as we can in India. And I hope we will be given that opportunity. In the last 10-15 years, we kind of changed our pattern of coming to India. We used to come to India about 2 to 3 times a year, our organization, not on an individual basis, but our organization, and we would give lectures, CME lectures on medicine across the country who were invited us. The last 2 years, we felt that it would be better, rather than us coming and delivering a lecture in this country, to have the Indian physicians in the dialogue. And that is what we have done. We had the first Indo-US Summit here in Delhi last year. We just came on the second Indo-US Summit actually end of last year, early this year. We have picked up 7 disease states. We have identified both Indians in this country and Indians living in America together, the Indo-US Summit. We have identified 7 disease states, and we hope that we will come up with the practice parameters for the 7 disease states that we can take effectively into rural India. Our focus, our main agenda as far as we physicians are concerned in the United States is definitely rural India. We have something to offer to urban India as well, and that's emergency medical services. We know the ambulance services is very advanced in the United States, and we would like to bring to all the major cities in India the same state-of-the-art that we have as far as ambulance services are concerned. And it is very, very refreshing for us who are not politicians, who are physicians by training, that when we meet the politicians in India, whether it be the Chief Minister of Delhi or it be the Prime Minister of the others, that we have been received very, very warmly. And we have engaged in a wonderful dialogue, and I hope in the years to come, all of what we have planned to do few we will be able to accomplish. In conclusion, sir, I firmly agree with all the previous speakers when they have said that most of us in this room this afternoon are very blessed. We are very, very fortunate to be here. We are very fortunate to be reasonably wealthy. But we also realize that wealth that you have, that wealth that I have from a financial point of view is only good if we put it to good use. And that is the trust that has been entrusted to us to make sure we share the wealth in whatever way we can. In the words of Robert Frost, he said, yes, the night is young. The night is young, but it is still not time to sleep because I have work to do and work to do. And collectively, none of us can go to bed yet because we have a lot to do, both in the country of our adoption and, more important, the country of our birth. Thank you very much, sir. And more important, the country of our birth. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Srinivasan. The next speaker, Dr. Yogesh Leman. May kindly come.
Friends, I have an announcement to make. HSBC India NRI Services has been holding a lucky draw every hour. And I'm happy to announce the winners of yesterday's winners. They can collect their prize from the counter outside. Dr. Sunita Joshi from Canada. Mr. Anup Hazra from United States. Mr. Ajay Khetani from United States. And Mr. Karan Singh. These are 4 winners of yesterday's. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais and friends. First of all, I would like to thank for this opportunity that I have been given, and also to thank Mr. Gurinder Singh for organizing such a wonderful event, and thank Mr. Sood for looking after us so well as a coordinator of this event. Before I start with what I'm here for, particularly today, I would like to thank all of you and all the people, including members from the dais, for inaugurating my poetry book yesterday. And thank you so much, all of you, for giving me so many compliments. Thank you. I'm not going to talk much about myself because a lot of it is written in my book. If anyone wants to know, some books are there. Coming to the point, my talk today is around Commonwealth Games, the start of the dream. It's just about 8 years ago when the dream of having 19th Commonwealth Games in Bharat was realized in the UK, Manchester, the city where I live. At that time, I was the president of the oldest Indian association in Manchester, established in 1914, and was privileged to receive and adopt the Team India and officials from IOA and various dignitaries, including sports and youth ministers, junior and youth and family minister. It was at that time these games were announced because Uma Bharti had just come out of the meeting where a decision had been taken that the next games will be in Delhi, which was a very joyous occasion for us. During 2002 games, we felt proud about Indian sports women and men when they succeeded in achieving 3rd position in the medal tally after Australia and UK. And especially, we were thrilled to watch the women's hockey team getting the gold medal. Whatever way the spirit of Commonwealth Games is put, the people and the media will always be anxious to see the nations in the light of medals collected in each game. On the whole, India's track record in sports remains abysmal, I must say. If we see performance at the last Olympics in China, which just finished in 2008, millions of Indians felt proud as well as dismayed to see that India got only 1 gold and 2 bronze medals. They were, and we were, dismayed by looking at the country's achievements like China, our next door neighbor, comparing with India with over 1 billion population. That is India's achievement. Many of us living abroad had also similar feelings and did question in our minds the contribution of Bharat in the sports world. Of course, we are proud of our cricketers and the achievements of few others like the prize Vishwanathan Anand and so on and so forth. I agree with Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee when he says that we Indians should stop being Al-Santoshi. With so many young and budding sportsmen and women in the streets of India, a source that is lying untapped, amounting to a waste of talents, and the aspirations of India's young is diluted for no fault of their own. We are today poised to welcome it, Indians. We are poised to welcome the 19th Commonwealth Games in this great city of Delhi in 2010, which is next year. We have great opportunity to bring sports at the level of our proud IT sector, which has raised the Indian flag in every part of the world. We do need really serious thinking and strategies to bring our sports people to a world-class level. In 2002, at Commonwealth Games in Manchester, we talked about some of the problems and issues facing the Indian sportsmen and women. Almost everyone, including the ministers, were of the opinion that something needs to be done at grassroots level to achieve laurels in sports. The main problems facing Indian sports people are not only the poverty of individual athletes, but there are many infrastructural and management problems highlighted in the discussions in Manchester. The amount of money being spent in Delhi to build world-class facilities for Commonwealth Games needs to be replicated in every state of Bharat. And the management structures need complete overhaul, like the cricket management, citing the facilities extended to athletes in Manchester. Swimming and cycling Mancunians are proud to have world-class aqua center and velodrome to train their Olympians now. Excuse me, please. These are some of the examples of the legacies left behind after the Commonwealth Games in the UK. I sincerely hope that the facilities being built will be usable and used to carry on training our future Olympians even after the Games in Delhi. I do understand that India is still a developing country and our ex-president Dr. Kalam's vision of India becoming a developed country is not far to go. It is about time we could also be focusing on our future positions, watchdogs and management structures to realize India's aspirations in games and sports at all levels. Thank you very much for listening to me. Jai Hind. Thanks once again.
Thank you, Dr. Vijnani. Next speaker is Mr. Aditya Dayal.
Respected Dr. Krishnamurthy, the other panelists, and my fellow bodies, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about a subject very close to my heart, and that's diabetes. So the diabetes in India, there are about 42 million people with diabetes in India, 4.2 crores. By 2030, India will have 80 million diabetics. That's 8 crore Indians. The city that we're sitting in right now has about 2.5 million patients with diabetes and pre-diabetes. Now data which will be more important to you, in New York they did a study, half of the adults had either diabetes. So the bottom line I want to emphasize is Indians are very different. Indians are at very high risk for diabetes. Now I urge you all to think about yourself as well, because if you're not doing well, you're not going to do very well for others around you. So I want to ask a question. How many of you had your sugar check in the last year? Raise your hands. Alright, quite a few, but the others need to get it done. Have the chance that you're either diabetes or pre-diabetes if you are adult. You know, the state of diabetes in India is pretty much horrible. I'm angry about where we are with the state of diabetes in India. I'm angry because I see relatives dying, leaving young kids behind. I'm angry to see so many productive people suffer complications and go away. It's unfortunate. Now in India we have the highest prevalence of diabetes. We also have the ability and the willingness to pay for the services needed. Unfortunately, in India we have not been able to establish an institution which can provide what the patients want. So I propose, and what I'm very interested in, is seeing an institute which will change the paradigm of treatment of patients with diabetes. Somebody's speaking here. We need to stop. Excuse me. So a paradigm changing institute. We want people to change the way they are thinking about diabetes. They really need to pay more attention. Our model in India right now is an acute care model, which is when you get sick, when you have a cough, cold, you go to see the doctor. Otherwise you don't. Your sugars run in 300, you don't go to the doctor. When you have a sore on your foot, that's when you go to the doctor. So we need to change the mindset for patients, people, and for physicians. Physicians equally need to change the mindset. And that's why we need a paradigm changing diabetes institute. I have a desire to be part of such a center. We will name it Indian Institute of Diabetes and Endocrinology. The logo for them will be Defeating Diabetes One Life at a Time. We have a website, indiadiabetes.org. And our mission is to improve the lives of patients in India with diabetes and its complications through comprehensive quality medical care, education, and research. This is what we want to do with the help of this institution. It will have several phases, inpatient and outpatient, and then we'll start inpatient. Research is going to be an integral part of such entity. Now, the big thing is we need as much help as we can get. Our needs for this entity would be 1, money, 2, land, and 3, most importantly, the right people. We want the right people for an institution like this. We need help, and I urge people who are interested in diabetes, who think this is a worthwhile cause, to contact me. Any help would be fine. Time, expertise, resources, advice, presentation on boards, donations, investments, whatever it is. Think about it, what you can do, but this is sorely needed. We need a paradigm-changing institute for people with diabetes in India. It's going to happen sometime or the other, and I will be a part of this. It's a big task, but we really need to change. We can't have our productive people die and leave young kids behind. It has happened too many times, and we can't let this go on. So the plan to set up a paradigm-changing diabetes institute, and it's a big task, so I think about this vote. God, your seed is so great, and my vote is so small. And then I also think what Confucius said. Confucius said several thousand years ago, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I invite Mr. Gautam Raj from Kampo.
चेयरमैन साहब, ऑर्गेनाइजर और उपस्थित महानुभावों, मैं हिंदुस्तानी, मेरा नाम है और मैं हिंदुस्तानी में बोलूँगा। सबसे पहले मैं ट्रिब्यूट देना चाहूँगा लेट हरभजन सिंह, जिन्होंने इस ऑर्गेनाइजर की नींव रखी और इसी वजह से हम यहाँ इकट्ठे होकर जो कर रहे हैं उसको आगे बढ़ाएं। मैं अफ्रीका का बिलोंग करता हूँ। ज़्यादातर स्पीकर अमेरिका या यूरोप या कनाडा से है जो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड है, लेकिन अफ्रीका ऐसा देश है जो भारत ने महात्मा गांधी दिया, मोहनचंद गांधी दिया था अफ्रीका को, और अफ्रीका ने महात्मा गांधी बना के भेजा था। और इसी वजह से हम प्रवासी भारतीय दिन मनाते हैं हर साल 2, 9 और 10 जनवरी को। और काफ़ी स्टैटिस्टिक की बात हो गई। सिंपल स्टैटिस्टिक मुझे लग रही है कि हमारा लक्ष्य है हिंदुस्तान को 2020 में महासत्ता बनाना है। 3 करोड़ भारतीय बाहर है, 100 करोड़ हिंदुस्तान में है, पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर 300 लोग हिंदुस्तान में है। जैसे हमारा अफ्रीका कॉन्टिनेंट पे स्क्वायर किलोमीटर 5 लोग बचे हैं। नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बहुत है। सिंपल बात करना है, हर भारतीय जो 3 करोड़ बाहर है, इसको 10 लोगों को ले जाना है हिंदुस्तान के बाहर, और हम देखें तो पर कैपिटा इनकम हमारे $10,000 से ज़्यादा है जो हिंदुस्तान के बाहर है, जबकि हिंदुस्तान में $1,000 है। तो हर हिंदुस्तानी जो बाहर है वो हिंदुस्तान के 10 आदमी को ले जाएगा और 2020 में उसको वापस भेजेगा, तब उनकी भी इनकम 10,000 से ज़्यादा हो गई होगी। ऑटोमेटिक एक सिंपल सॉल्यूशन से एक काम हो सकता है अगर हमारा विल है। दूसरी बात ये कि जहाँ पर हमारा सप्रेस होते हैं, कई वर्करों का प्रॉब्लम है। अफ्रीका में हमें काफ़ी पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम्स होते रहे हैं। हर इलेक्शन ये हमारा नया बर्थ होता है कि हर साल हर इलेक्शन होता है, तब हमें जी कृष्णमूर्ति साहब को यहाँ है कि हम भारत में इलेक्शन से थक गए और अफ्रीका में इलेक्शन नहीं होते इसलिए थक गए। लेकिन अपॉर्चुनिटी अफ्रीका में बहुत है, और जो लोग अफ्रीका, जो हमारे बाहर लोग हैं, हिंदुस्तान के गांव में आके काफी कुछ चीज कर सकते हैं, हम करें, क्योंकि हमारा ओरिजिनल रूट है विलेज। और इस गांव को अगर हम ग्लोबल विलेज बनाएंगे, जब हमारी हिंदू संस्कृति में बताया गया है कि वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, एक भारत विश्व एक गांव है और गांव ही हमारा रूट है। इसको अगर हम जो जैसे फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड में बनाना चाहते हैं, ऐसा हमारा स्वप्न है, तो इसे आगे बढ़ाएं। और आने वाले समय में हिंदुस्तान को अगर महान बनाना है तो ग्रामीण इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को जरूर अच्छा बनाना पड़ेगा। और हिंदुस्तान के 50 करोड़ लोग आज भी बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन जी रहे हैं। अगर हम 30 करोड़ लोगों को आने वाले 10-15 साल में बाहर ले जाएंगे, मतलब एक इंडियन जो बाहर है, तो 10 आदमियों को, 10 हिंदुस्तानियों को बाहर ले जाएगा और इसको 10 साल के बाद वापस भेजेगा, तो हमारा काफी प्रश्न सॉल्व हो सकता है। ये मेरा सिंपल लॉजिक है और ये बहुत प्रैक्टिकल लॉजिक है। आगे बढ़े सब लोग, जिस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ के बात किया है, काफी चीजें बात की है, लेकिन अफ्रीका एक अपॉर्चुनिटी का भी कॉन्टिनेंट है। अमेरिका, यूरोप अभी फाइनेंशियल बैकडाउन में काफी डाउन हुए हैं। अफ्रीका में कुछ डाउन होने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि हम ऑलरेडी डाउन है, लेकिन आगे आ सकते हैं। और जो लोग ने अफ्रीका में विकास किया है, मैं समझता हूँ कि पर कैपिटा इनकम और कहीं नहीं हो सकती, और जो हमने किया है वो काफी कर सकते हैं। मैंने आज 100 लोग यहाँ से ले गया हूँ, इसी तरह से हर आदमी को 10 लोग ले जाएंगे तो जरूर हमारा जो सपना है हमारे फोरफादर का, जैसे बताया गया 2020 में भारत को महान बनाने, जरूर बना सकेंगे। बहुत समय ले लेता हूँ। जय भारत, जय हिंद।
Thank you very much. I want to mention something which happened about more than 10 years ago. I was representing India in the Commonwealth Chief Election Commissioners Conference in London. Then the British delegate got up and said, Britain is the mother of parliaments. He said Britain is the mother of parliaments. So people are looking at me. I said if Britain is the mother of parliaments, India is the mother of elections. So next day all the papers, newspapers wrote, if Britain is the mother of parliaments, the Indian delegate Dr. Krishnamurthy says, India is the mother of parliaments. Then I explained. I said India is the largest democracy in the world. At that time we had 67 crores 50 lakhs voters. 675 million voters we had. And we conducted parliamentary elections number of times. Then I had to say there, 67 crores 50 lakhs voters. Conducting an election for them means conducting an election for the whole of Russia, which had only 9 crores voters. Whereas Russia has got 9 crores voters, Uttar Pradesh has got 10 crores 20 lakhs voters. So I said, if Indian elections covered 67 crore 50 lakh voters, conducting an election for them means conducting election of the whole of Russia, plus the whole of Europe, plus the whole of UK, plus the whole of USA, plus the whole of Canada, plus the whole of Australia, plus the whole of Sri Lanka. So it is the 9th wonder of the world. So this is, somebody mentioned, just now the speaker said that the African elections he was talking. So we had the privilege, we have shown to the world that India can work as a democracy. We had 14 parliamentary elections, and we have shown to the world through 14 parliamentary elections we could develop, we could live together in spite of various differences. India is a garland of states, garland of religions, garland of languages, garland of castes, garlands of culture. Culture in different parts unite India. Therefore India emerged in the world as a model democracy which is followed by the rest 56 parliamentary democracies. There are 57 parliamentary democracies, 66 presidential democracies, and India as the largest practicing democracy, practicing democracy in the world, we have shown that through democracy people can live peacefully, grow peacefully, prosper peacefully, and die peacefully. Not in our bounds. Thank you. The next speaker is Mrs. Geeta Ravishankar from Oman.
Honorable Chairman, Shri Gurinder Singh, Secretary General of NRI Welfare Society, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. I am Geeta Ravishankar from Oman. I am Bharatanatyam dancer and Carnatic musician, and also teaching Indian classical and folk dances and Carnatic music for the last 27 years in abroad, that is in Zambia and Cyprus before, and for the last 10 years in Oman. I also teach Indian dances to deaf and dumb Arab children and have conducted program with them. I am training them in a special sign language method so that they can also dance like normal children for the songs which they cannot hear at all. I have following request. Indian classical dance and music are taught in traditional way under Guru Shishya method. In modern days, every child who is learning our fine arts wants to get recognized certificates as they get for Western music and dance. There the qualified teachers are recognized by Associate Board or Trinity College, and their students can appear for exam anywhere in the world under their coaching. Similarly, institutions such as Sangeet Natak Academy in India can recognize teachers like us and conduct regular exams for different levels and issue certificates. This will greatly help the students and also encourage them. This way we can promote our fine arts and will be able to inculcate Indian culture in the minds of our children abroad. Secondly, I am conducting programs every year with my students and get sponsorship from corporate entities and donate the entire sponsorship money to a charitable cause like financial help to Cancer Association, Old People Homes, Orphanages, Association for Handicapped Children and Adult, etc. Every year around $25,000 we raise. Because the funds are raised in the country of my residence, the government of those countries would like to be used within that country. If I want to extend similar activities to help any needy Indian voluntary organization, how to go about it? What help will be forthcoming from the central or state government or NRI society? I hope NRI Welfare Society can guide us. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak in this august forum.
Well, thank you very much. It is a very successful open session. I got a list of 5 speakers more. Now the time is 1:40. If I extend beyond another 10-15 minutes, I may have to hold a election whether you want speeches or whether you want lunch. So therefore I request the speakers to be very brief. Next one is Dr. Raj Patankar from Australia. Please.
Respected Chairman, dignitaries, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and a privilege to be here, to be at such a large gathering of NRIs. There are many issues that I could have brought in. Time is short and I'll just cut it to 2 issues. The Indian population, as compared to the other world, is not that healthy, or what you call the life expectancy is not that higher being compared to the Western world, but still we are getting old. One. The second thing is the NRIs which are coming back to India are coming at a late stage. They're old. So if you see countries like Australia, they have a very good system for geriatric peoples. I just request and appeal to the businessmen of India, talking about the general global partnership, to think about a system
with a good health. When we have a good health, we don't have to worry about anything or anybody because we can take care of ourselves. The easy way of taking good health is by taking good care of our mind and the body. They both are highly related. When we are upset, our body responds in a way of disease. When we are happy, our body responds in a way of healthy. So the key here is having a good relation with everybody in the society and in the family. We can have a healthy family, healthy society by building good relations. And one thing in I am a homeopathy physician who is doing in Georgia, Atlanta. I am the only homeopath who has the highest qualifications in that state. So I get the opportunity to meet many people and have the relation with many associations there. One good thing we are doing there is we are doing a lot of health fairs where we can help poor people, as homeopathy is very easy and economical to support in large cases. And in another thing homeopathy offers is like they have a very good diagnostic aspect that is called individualizing the patient rather than giving the remedies on a common basis of disease name. So in that case we can cure people where they are suffering with undiagnosed problems, complicated new diseases and the relation of the body-mind. So this way, one thing is like we can support the economy in a global level, because when we can cure people, people can be more productive and they can support whatever the business or the job they are doing in a more effective way. And I request the government to take care of like building a small institutions where they can train people in first aid and acute diseases to be cured with a small group of people, because there are a lot of good homeopathy medicines which can work very fast in cases of acute conditions like bleeding, burns and injuries, accidents, and many times it's very easy to give the medicine, very easy to store them and dispense them. So if the government can do something about it, like training people in first aid and acute cases, just by using homeopathy, we can give the health care we want to give the rural areas very easily. And second thing, what I have been observing in United States is many times we all are feeling that we are feeling inferior, we are feeling discriminated. That comes from lack of understanding about ourselves majority of the time. People will come to us and ask us, what is this? Why do you wear bindi? Why do you say namaste? Why do you pray different gods? So then many of us don't know how to answer those questions. Then the time we feel inferior. So what I started doing for that is, like, the children, if they are educated about their culture, their practices and their beliefs, if they can explain to the people around them, they don't have to feel inferior, they can feel confident. So we have an international committee in local schools. What we do is we do presentations about India and Indian culture, Indian practices. So that is guiding local community to feel what as an Indian, how do you feel about your country. So that is giving more Americans, they want to come see India, because they are thinking that, okay, they have very beautiful culture right there. What we do is we take pictures of our practices, we have videos, and we also have the presentations, PowerPoints, and go to schools and talk to the teachers about how we do, and we want 10 or 15 minutes of the class time. People are very happy to do those things to us. And second thing, when our kids can talk and read our languages, they can read more about the country, they can read more about our scriptures, because we don't have a lot of time to teach our children. So when they can do themselves, they can get more educated and they can go back to the society and spread that knowledge. There is a funny situation what happened right in front of my house is, like, there is an African American living, and she wanted to be called as an Indian. She used to go to her mom and she used to say that I'm an Indian, I want to be an Indian, because they all are happy, they all are having very good relations. The tired mother said, yes, they are also Indians, we are also Indians. We are Indians, West Indians, and they are just Indians. So if we are confident, if we want to bring a change, it's very easy to bring a change from the grassroots. So give the proper education, give the proper explanation of what we are doing to our children and our society, because that's what I use with my patients. Whatever I learn as from my parents, friends and the family in India, I share that with the people there. I am happy to announce that I saved so many marriages as part of my practice, though it is not my practice, I am a homeo doctor. But giving the knowledge I got from India, I shared with them, that saved their life. They came to me and they said several times that you saved my life in terms of health and the family. So we have a lot of opportunity to our country and also to the country where we are living. And my main request to the government is just consider training people in homeopathy for the acute conditions and emergencies, so they can do a better health care and a easy health care in all over India. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Mr. Anil Patel from the United States.
My fellow countrymen, human nature is immigration. For prosperity, they travel all over the globe. We the Indian, wherever we are, our mind, our heart always go to the motherland. which is very obvious, and there is a slow Janani Janmabhumishcha Swargat Abigaryas. Since yesterday, all the politicians, today, all the speakers, they sang one song. How much we have progressed, how good we have been, how beautiful is our country. Today what I'm going to talk is the other side of the coin. I came to Delhi with my wife and her musical student Todd Bush, an Italian origin, 48 years old, much into yoga and spiritual work. We three landed Delhi on January 2nd. Lived Delhi for 3 days, see as much as we can. We went to Bhubaneswar, Paramhans Yoganand, his ashram. We went to Chennai, Pondicherry, Tiruvannamalai, where Maharshi Raman Yogi. Went to Madurai, Meenakshi Temple, Shivanand Ashram, Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari, Trivandrum, Ahmedabad, Jaipur and Delhi. My whole trip with the American. We wanted to see the other side of India. I told him, I will take you both sides. The India is poor country, and it is still very poor country. We saw the miserable poverty. We saw desperate cry. We saw unended hope in the eyes of thousands and thousands of pilgrimage people, ashram, big cities, small villages. We traveled in air. We traveled through train. We traveled through bus. We traveled through non-air conditioned crowded car. We traveled in air conditioned car. We lived in 5-star hotel. My idea was to feel the pain. We have progressed, no question about it. I'm not going to say whether it is enough, whether it will satisfy to everybody, is the matter of personal judgment. What we should be discussing, what we can do, how we can improve the progress. We talk, what we need is an action. All the NRI, all over the world, their heart, their mind, even they train their children to get the cultural heritage of India. I have been in the United States for the last 40 years. 1/3 of my life was spent in India. 2/3 of my life has been in the United States. This is my 5th trip in the last 40 years. 2001 and 2005, I stayed 6 months. I moved, I traveled, I talked, I stayed, and I exchanged ideas. I felt the pain. I walked in 113 degrees Fahrenheit temperature, 2 miles, noon, and I felt the scorching sun, and I saw millions and millions of people still in the same ruts. My point is, NRIs are very generous. My country, United States, is very generous. Our richest man, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Ted Turner, you can go on and on. All those billionaires, they are pouring their whole lifetime saving, and they are philanthropists. NRI, I know a lot of friends, they are giving so much charity to uplift their own village, place of work. I don't know personally how many NRI are interested in having a business here or making money. their whole and soul goal is to uplift their country, their villages, do the traveling, encourage the tourism, and help as much as possible to the country. The beauty of this country is beyond description, and everybody has said that. All I can say for our Indian resident here to understand what are the problems, why NRI will not come and settle here, but it's a matter of personal opinion. My appeal to my fellow countrymen, those who are NRI, be generous, be compassionate, and I know we all are, but that cannot be enough unless we lift the human mass, which is at the very lower level. Our progress does not mean anything. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. I got two more speakers. One is Mr. Sudhindra Padagali from Bahrain. Would you like to speak? Mr. Kumar is there. Is he available? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, we have been discussing several issues since morning. I won't take much of your time. I am Sudhindra Padagali. I am from Bahrain. I actually worked in two major public sectors in India, that is Hindustan Machine Tools and another insurance company, that is United India Insurance Company. And afterwards I moved to Bahrain. I have been working in a reinsurance company in Bahrain since last 14 years. And this reinsurance company, it is Trust Reinsurance Company, and we have been, all the key portfolios have been headed by the Indians. We have been, in fact, in a reinsurance company, the main portfolios are, the main departments are the finance, the underwriting and claims. And all these departments are headed by Indians, and today the Trust Re is the company which is running with the highest profitability in the region. So we are really proud of this particular thing because we are majority Indians running that company. Secondly, I would like to thank Mr. Gurinder Singh and his team for the excellent work for connecting the NRIs, and this is a wonderful thing. And I have a small suggestion to give. Now, we have all the experts. The NRI world is it is such an eminent. We have all the experts, so many experts in majority of the fields, be it a power or whether it is a power sector or whether it is energy, any sector. Now, these experts, why not make an expert pool and then contribute by way of in the technical bulletins, or it could be in a website or whatever. So this particular talent, this particular ideas can be definitely passed on to the respective ministries or respective industries. So this could go a long way. To just give an example, if you take the power sector, in our country it is one of the major requirements. So we are thinking of setting up power plants. But if you can increase the efficiency of our power plants and our transmission systems, that could really go a long way. In fact, even if we improve the efficiency by 1%, then that amounts to a huge amount of power, and we can definitely invite the ideas from the various people so that these ideas can be shared with our Indian industry. So that could be, why not use this wonderful platform for even such reasons. So that will be great. So I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I got another speaker by name Mr. Kumar. Is it there? The last speaker, Mr. Aditya Dayal, educated.
Thank you, Chairman. And I would like to thank Mr. Gurinder Singh also for giving us the opportunity to talk about before the August gathering of these eminent personalities. Actually, this presentation is on behalf of Mr. Said Abzai, very much emotionally attached with Mr. late Sri Harvinder Singh Ji. And what today I am going to tell you is about this unique project. And what you are saying now is generating global partnerships. I am just adding power on that. My earlier speaker has told about power. The power generating global partnership I am going to talk. The topic is investment opportunities in power from sea waves and current. The project highlights that it is first of its kind, and the sea power generator is modular and supremely efficient, and it can be installed on the jetty. If you consider 100 megawatt power project, this can be cost, it's like 500 crores of rupees, and rupees 500 crores, 5 crores per megawatt is really cheap one. That is, as compared to the existing power projects, it will be less costly power project. And it's a unique type of a new kind of technology where the earlier speaker was telling that we should coordinate with each other. So tentative financial, we can say that it's equity rupees 50 crores of rupees and debt is 450 crores, and at the rate of 3 rupees 50% per unit. And the payback comes out to be 5 to 6 years only. So you have the great opportunity in that to invest in this kind of project. So what is the progress that we have done in India? That Power Trading Corporation has already given us consent letter that they are ready to purchase at what was the rate? They are saying 3 rupees to start with, and it's negotiable. That means it is available, ready market is available with us. And recently we have signed LOI and this MOU with the Gujarat government, who has given us memorandum of understanding, MOU signed by Mr. Narendra Modi. And that is for we are going to have a power project based on a sea wave power project, first of its kind in the world, which is going to be held in Gujarat, and very soon we are going to start. We invite you to participate in that project. The government incentives are already there. They say FDI up to 100% is allowed in that. Income tax holiday is there, accelerated depreciation of the income tax, and custom duty relaxations are there. Then investors are invited. Why you should invest in this kind of project? Because it is green investment. The pioneer, once you invest in this, you will be the pioneer investor, and then your name will be known that you are the pioneer of that investment of the new kind of project, which is unique. And power is the ready market, so there is no question of what will happen if you produce that product. Product is energy, and energy has a ready market. So comparatively it is cheaper per megawatt, and commercially it is viable. It has short payback period and environment friendly. The CDM benefits also can be, say, around for 100 megawatt, it's calculated to be around 90 crores CDM benefits, which is now, it can be made available to this.